Imagine you make the worst decisions in your life. You're a soldier on a mission, but you fall in love, betraying your people. Your new friends turn their backs on you. The person you love is with someone else. Everyone thinks you should go home, but you can't because the people you're from hates you. Hawkgirl had one miserable life. Shayera Hall's journey is about feelings versus duty. She joins the League during the Imperium invasion as one of the muscles. However, she's not a superhero really, but an agent of Thanagar, sent in advance to determine Earth's weaknesses for their war. Of course, little did she know she would find her own weakness, a muscular, bold man. Hawkgirl is a stern, aggressive military woman defined by a sense of patriotism, and these are the defining attributes that are broken down piece by piece during her experience with the League. When Solomon Grundy dies in her arms, she has to stop herself from saying she doesn't believe in a soul to comfort him. Here, she learns and begins to practice human ideas of faith and love.
Do you think Grundy's soul is waiting for him?
Grundy, I don't believe... Yes, it's waiting for you. I tried to do this according to human customs.
You honor his memory.
He was happy at the end. I still don't understand why.
It's faith, Hawkgirl. You're not supposed to understand it. You just have it.
But then there's Jon Stewart, from rival to falling in love. He's the man who quite literally took off her helmet to see her as she really is, and allowed her to see him. And during their Christmas together, she found comfort and joy in his arms. If we treat her duty as her home and her feelings as the new frontier, then her experiences with Jon and Grundy is to an extent the belly of the whale stage, where she commits to the willingness to change, to her rebirth, which is made more apparent when the familiar arrives. Her people, the Thanagarians, occupies Earth. She betrays the League, whacking her new boyfriend in the face, and worse yet, makes out with her fiancé in front of him.
Darling, at last.
Pro Telic. However, in the end, she's gone native and can't side with her people when it meant destroying Earth, and she also can't deny her love for Jon. So as a League vote on if she can stay or not, she decides to leave anyways, refusing to burden them with the same duty versus feelings dilemma she had. This whole finale here is really Shayera's atonement with the father, in the sense that, well, I just love saying it, and she confronted what held power over her life, her patriotism, and even her love for Jon. Letting them both go is her achieving the greatest power she could gain. No more duty, just following all she feels. Unfortunately, this only leads to despair, because this ain't her apotheosis. Leaving only made her more lost, as she takes refuge with Dr. Fate, unable to wield her mace anymore, until she had to be the one to euthanize Solomon Grundy again, therefore waking her up again.
It's okay. I know what you want. What you need.
Waking up is then what defines her final stage in the story. Waking up to the person she was, the person she can be, and living with all that she feels. Rejoining the League is about discovering this and learning to live with the feeling of different contradictions. Because on one hand, her expectations that everyone hates her is proven to be, well, true, but is always constantly subverted. The League actually never voted her out, because my boys Superman, Wally and Jon broke the tie. Shayera and Wonder Woman hate each other, but that doesn't mean they still can't get along in their own weird, dysfunctional, but loving way. She becomes friends with Vixen, Jon's current relationship, who ironically is the one jealous of her, because Shayera left such a powerful legacy behind her as a badass. This love from everyone is what pulls Shayera out of her self-pitying. In fact, Vixen and Nathan Fillion are the ones who defends and help her against the Thanagarians, two people that have all the reasons to hate her.
Filthy Hawks caught me. Your people, Hawkgirl.
As a result, in Unlimited, these trials and challenges is what teaches Shayera to learn to live with herself. Hawkgirl wasn't just a trader, but a respected warrior, a goddamn hero. However, what if there's more to her than even she knows? With the power of retconned and as an attempt to marry Hawkgirl's convoluted comic histories, Carter Hall arrives, a more traditional Hawkman who's a creepy stalker who Jon and Batman warns off. But she's like, nah.
Ran into your stalker boyfriend, Carter Hall.
He's not my boyfriend.
He introduces a new idea into Shayera's story, destiny. As long ago in ancient Egypt, in a different lifetime, she and Carter were together. But then also in this previous lifetime, John showed up and they had an affair. In his rage, Carter wished they were dead, and that actually happened. However, in his heartbreak, Carter chooses death too. As a third act to Shayera's story, where she crosses the return threshold, aka the familiar grounds, there's two ways you can interpret this. On one hand, Carter Hall, like Rotalic, is the man in her life outside of John that she's committed to and she's obliged to accept in her own weird existential duties, which involves once again surrendering her feelings, because she still loves John. On the other hand, it's also links to the theme of death. Death is all over Shayera's story, her reaction to Solomon Grundy's death, her tearful reaction to Superman's, making an Earth funeral for Grundy, attending the Black Hawk Memorial, the death of her fiancé alongside thousands of her people due to her decisions. She died in another lifetime because she followed her feeling, just like her life right now.
Katar's my husband.
And my best friend.
I'd leave him for you.
I'd never ask. I'm afraid that you would.
Death is the familiar, and to avoid death, she has to sacrifice her feelings for John. However, after the fiasco, Carter actually believes that she and John are actually the ones that are destined to be together, and gets out of their way, because otherwise he'd have to eat Tide Pods and die again or something.
It never was. We weren't really meant for each other. I have to accept that.
Furthermore, we know this to be true because in the future, Shayera and John have a son. I mark her discovery of this as the ending of her story, because this child is the answer to all of this. Death, pain, and regret. There is a bright future in the path of her feelings, one that makes everything worth it.
He's our son. Yours and mine.
Our son? Well, what else could it mean?
But then Jon Stewart denies her this certainty, by deciding to be loyal with Vixen.
I won't be Destiny's puppet. Whatever the future holds, we'll make those choices ourselves.
This moment always perplexed my little kid brain, because I'm like, well, 1 + 1 = Warhawk, so just get on with it. But upon revisiting all this, I think I kinda get it. His loyalty and also refusal to let go of his own agency is why she fell in love with him. That's what changed her, in fact. And therefore, the future they'll have together is going to be all the more true and beautiful now, when it's on both of their terms. Shayera is miffed, but also has some peace, as she learns of her son. And this moment is one of a totally different person than how she started. Where it's not about her following her patriotic duty, but following her feelings, yet again.
Tell me about my son.
Following her feeling in spite of all the death is the only path for the future, and the fact that we don't get to see this future, we can only speculate, that only makes Shayera's story all the more poignant because, well, that's ultimately the message of her journey. As a kid, I kind of preferred clean and clear stories, where if two people love each other, they should just get together and get on with it. But life isn't that clean. Life is about compromises. There's things that you can't move in your heart, and those feelings, even if they're acted upon or they're not, they build complications. Shayera is about learning to live with those complications, and never drifting away from what you feel. And more importantly, she shows us that life is all about feeling everything.
If I may be so bold, I'm neither a superhero nor a soldier, so I'm hardly qualified to judge your actions by those standards. But I do know this. Without the great sacrifices you've made, we wouldn't be here to share this nice pot of tea.
You saved our lives. God bless you, Chicalcon.
You deserve that, too.
We secretly sent an advanced agent to Earth to learn more about your people and to study your defenses. That agent was Lieutenant Shayera Hall, better known to you as Hawkgirl.
You mean she's a spy? Cool.
She was spying on us.
Oh, yeah.
I can forgive your treason. I can forgive everything. Make this all go away. Just tell me what I need to hear. It was a meaningless flirtation. You were lonely. Tell me I'm the one you love, not him.
I came to this planet as a patriot. I had a mission and I carried it out. What I couldn't know was that I would come to care for the Earth and her people.
Was he worth it?
This isn't about him, it's about us. Don't kill these innocent people, Ro. Find another way.
that I'd come to care for all of you. I've spent the last 5 years torn between my feelings and my duty. I won't ask you to do the same. Therefore, I am resigning from the Justice League, effective immediately.
Was it all a lie?
I love you, John. I never lied about that.
Because of you, the Thanagarian Empire lost the war.
Maybe I owe my people the chance to pass judgment on me.
You know, for the last few months, all I've been hearing is Shayera's so brave, Shayera's so tough, Shayera never quits.
Vixen.
I'm embarrassed to say that I was maybe a little jealous of you. But seeing you in action here, I'm thinking John must have been talking about some other Shayera.
We're in this together. That's how it's done.
Girl was never dismissed from the League. Anyway, Superman broke the tie.
I believe in second chances. I believe in redemption. But mostly, I believe in my friend.
What about us? Are we good?
Like oil and vinegar. We go together, but we don't mix.
Works for me.
So different. I mean, look at us.
I see a man and a woman. He's our son, yours and mine.
Our son?
I've been trying to figure out what to do with that knowledge, what it means for our future.
Well, what else could it mean?
So this video is a redraft of the old Hawkgirl video, which was copyright claimed by WBTV. I disputed it and I got rejected, which makes no goddamn sense. So instead of muting the ending, which is what they claimed, even though I had my voiceover over it and it was heavily edited, I was like, you know what, why don't I just go ahead and rewrite the entire video and make some adjustments. I hope it was interesting, I don't know.
Mysterious creatures in the universe.
Sorry?
Women.